We live?
Mm-mm.
Now we're live.
Now we're live.
Now we're live.
Hello, hello, hello.
Whew.
I don't see any Facebook. Is that normal?
hmm YouTube does a premiere and a countdown. Facebook
Oh,
does not.
okay. I see a Facebook and it's us.
There we go.
Hi, everyone. August the 22nd, 4 o'clock Central Time here in Alabama. And it's hot, as it is, I'm pretty sure, everywhere in the rest of the United States. It's hot.
It's terrible.
So we're not going to complain. We're just going to talk about it. No need to complain about what we can't control.
There, Miss Sue Slaughter.
Hey, Sue.
It is so hot today, y'all. And this ain't a joke. I'm not telling a joke. That I was recording a video.
He ain't gonna lie.
I'm not going to lie. And I had my GoPro cut off because it overheated, which isn't super uncommon if you ever owned a GoPro. Well, so I let it cool off, did it again, overheated again. I said, well, I'm just going to swap cameras. So I came inside, got my Canon, took it outside, it overheated. Came inside, got my Sony camera, and my Sony overheated. I've never had a camera except my GoPro overheat.
I told Jason, I said, why don't you go inside and edit what we already have, and we'll worry about cameras in December.
My microphone even cut off. My microphone cut off. It got so hot.
That's crazy.
That is, I've never, ever have had that happen to me. Never.
Well, it's like an oven out there. It's 97 actual temperature, and the heat index shows 107 right now. But you know, just a week or so ago, it was feeling like 121. So I don't know if that's good or bad.
I did see the weatherman said that we can expect at least September to be in the 90s. And they said generally by September 15th, we're out of the 90s. We're still hot. We're still in the 80s, high 80s, something like that. But the 90 temperatures are typically gone, or probably have one, pop up, but not consistently.
I looked at the weather.
Yeah.
For the next 10 days or something like that. And next Tuesday, I believe it's 91.
Ooh, I'll take that.
So I'm thinking, y'all, we haven't worked on fence. We have not.
Mm-mm.
Because it's too hot.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that the first day of the low 90s, we're back on the fence.
I think you're right.
But call us wimps, call us pity, call us whatever you want to. We can't do it. We can't do it.
It's crazy.
Just can't do it.
It is crazy. We have officially started school.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that us and Meredith, this farm wife, we all started on the same day.
It must be like a homeschool thing.
Must be like a homeschool thing.
My friend Hannah, who lives in our old town, Valley Grande, I saw that she started school yesterday.
Oh, really?
So just must be like the homeschool week to start. I think Piper started yesterday, too.
Did she?
Yeah, Piper and Tristan.
The first day, and you know what? I started thinking about the first days of school when I was a kid. Now, when I was I don't remember getting antsy and excited when I was in high school, but in grammar school, you'd go school shopping and you'd buy your clothes and then you couldn't sleep the night before, just antsy, and just I can even remember the smell of the school when you went in. Do you remember the smell of the school?
I don't remember the smell of the school.
Oh, I do. I can remember the smell of the school when I walked in. So just that first day of school, it just had that memory of what it was like.
I remember getting excited about it. And the anticipation of the first day back and the butterflies and not being able to sleep and such as that. I think that's pretty normal.
Oh, yeah.
But Mary Carl didn't have that to contend with because she woke up and she schools from home.
That's right. She does.
I feel fortunate to be able to do that because that's what she chooses to do. She doesn't want to be in a school setting, and I don't know if I would have been a child that could have functioned like that.
Yeah.
I was just very active and
I just don't
involved
know.
in, a lot of school
Yeah,
stuff.
me
So
too. I was too.
I wouldn't have been happy at home.
Yep.
But she's a different child. So to each their own. And if she wanted to go to school, we'd respect her wishes and we'd send her to school.
Right.
But she doesn't want to go. So
She don't want to go. She wants to be homeschooled.
she's homeschooled. And she says that's the way it's going to be. So
We did do something different in math this year. I've always taught the math, and we've done Singapore math,
I'm going to tell Mary Carl to cut the air down. I'm
Okay.
about to sweat.
and so we did something different in math, and it's just gotten to the point where I feel like, we're going into 8th grade now. I can, I was really good at algebra, and I feel like I've done a good job teaching her, but now I feel like I'm getting to the point where I know how to do it, but teaching her algebra and pre-algebra and that kind of stuff is starting to get more difficult for me to do. And I know it's going to get even harder as it goes on. So we did a ton of research on this. And then I came across one called Teaching Textbooks that is on the computer. It's verbal.
That's the only thing she does that's on the computer.
Only thing she does on computer. And I was thoroughly impressed with it.
Well, she likes it.
She loves it.
She did more lessons today than she was required to do.
That's right.
So that's a plus.
Yep.
And I didn't anticipate her being taught by a computer going over very well.
It's not like a robot or AI or anything. It's an actual man, and he's really good at explaining. And so the lessons are broke down, and we did the first one, and right now we're in refreshing stuff. It is refreshing.
Maybe that's why she likes it.
And it has been very, I enjoyed the first few lessons actually, and I actually learned some stuff I didn't even know.
Well, she wanted me to see it because you were the math teacher, so
Yeah.
you were the one that
Yeah.
knew how it worked and everything. So she brought she does it on an iPad.
Mm-hmm.
She brought the iPad to me and started showing me, how it was done. And it's definitely different than what she's used to. So that's a good thing, I think, because she likes it. And it's kind of hard to make something click. Like when we first started, we bought one whole curriculum, and a couple of months in, we both decided, both Mary Carl and myself, that we didn't like it.
Yeah, it wasn't working.
It wasn't working. And it was literature based.
Mm-hmm.
And while she likes to read about things that she
is interested in,
that she wants to know more about, it's not her favorite pastime for something that she doesn't want to do to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I based it, because I don't know, it's just somebody I knew had used it. So I bought it. I made a mistake and I had to buy it again, buy something different. And so it's been a learning experience. She started in 4th grade and we're now in 8th grade, and, through trials and errors and what works for me, what works for you, what works for her.
Yeah.
We've kind of figured it out.
We have figured it out.
But there is no one curriculum that's right for everybody.
No, it's not.
So when you start asking questions about homeschool as to what do we use?
We use a hodgepodge.
At first, I thought I had to use all one make.
That's
so
right.
To speak.
Yeah.
But since then, I've learned what I like and what I dislike and what she learns well with, and we've made changes.
Yep, we have made changes.
But I don't think you can reach out to somebody and say, what curriculum do you use? And base your child and your, situation on what I use.
I agree. Each child's different, and
each child learns different.
As a parent, that's your biggest learning curve, is trying to figure out
how your child learns.
How your child learns and what works best for them.
Yeah.
And but it's been awesome. Yeah.
It has.
I learned, and you didn't know this either, is that numbers are universal.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what country you live in, the numbers are the same.
That's just mind-boggling.
And I never thought about that And basically the Roman numerals were the main ones because, of course, of the Roman Empire. But then the numbers we come out of basically come out of India. And it was 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it was so interchangeable that everybody was like, hey, this is the best way to go here. And so that's what everybody uses now. And I had no idea. That just blew my mind. That
Well,
I
I never thought about it.
I never thought about it either.
I don't think. But I guess I guess if we had thought about it, we would realize that currency is based off numbers, and those numbers are 1 through 9,
right?
And that's a universal type. I don't know. I guess we just never thought of it from that perspective.
Never thought of it. It was just I just that blew. That was on lesson 1. I had
lesson 1.
Blew my mind. I had no idea. 0.
She had been using Singapore math, which is I would say a more advanced math than what she was taught in school. I can't even remember what she learned in school. What
I think we did Becca
when she was at school.
Well,
it was totally different, and she liked it, but it only went to the 7th grade.
Yeah, stopped in 7th grade.
So we had to make a change, and we kind of spent all summer trying to figure out what was going to work best. But Meredith at this farmer's wife, that's what her children use, and so Jason thought, well, I'll give it a try. If it works for her, if it doesn't work for us, we'll just have to go to something else.
Yeah. And you had a trial. You had a 30-day trial, and but we saw it's going to work.
Yeah. So change is
first day of school.
Well, yesterday was the first day.
I know. Do you guys remember the first day of school? Like being anxious and the smell of the school. And walking to school, and I don't know, just the first day of school. But I was not a school fan at all.
Well, I never knew any different. I never knew of such a thing as homeschool.
I didn't know anything about homeschool, but I literally despised school. I did. I was one of those ones.
So you may have been homeschooled if your parents would have.
Oh yeah, probably so.
You would have liked it.
Probably. I remember sitting in school and watching the clock, and then you would see, because you was in the class for an hour, say, and so I would say, well, that hand goes around. It'd be 30 minutes left. That hand goes around 30 more times, and we're out of here, out of this class, and counting them. I mean, I just didn't like it. It was not for me.
And
I didn't make bad grades.
High school?
Elementary, I was okay. Just when I got in high school is what I didn't care for at all. And I didn't like college either. And I didn't make bad grades. But I was one of those ones that, I never did study like I was supposed to, whatever. If I did, I would have
study in high school. But when I got to college, I studied a little bit. And I realized that I could have had a scholarship to just about anywhere I wanted to.
If we would have studied.
If we would have, if we applied ourselves.
I just didn't like it. I
didn't like studying. But I did when I got to college, because I wanted to learn and I wanted to succeed and I wanted to do well.
The only class I remember loving in college was ethics. I really enjoyed that class because I liked seeing different points of view from, because everybody's different. Everybody thinks different. Everybody's got different ideas.
Thankfully.
And different points of view. And it was like a debate class too. And I really enjoyed that class. I really did.
Well, I took zoology.
Yeah.
And that was probably my favorite college class that I took, because first of all, I liked the teacher. He was easy to understand, comprehend. And it was learning about things I was interested in.
Oh.
So here we go, preparation for having a farm later in life. But what I was going to say is, in high school, I decided that I wanted to be a PE teacher.
Yep.
Well, I had a PE teacher that I was very fond of. We were friends. We were friends outside of school. Jason was even friends with them because they would let Jason, my school would let Jason even go on trips when we traveled to out of town for a ball game or whatever. He could, go with us because they liked him. So I wanted to be a PE teacher. So starting my 11th grade year, I was able to help teach elementary PE.
Yep.
And so I helped teach the 5th and 6th graders, is what it was at the time, PE. And I didn't like it.
You don't like it?
I didn't like it.
Aren't you glad you didn't go do that?
Well, I did it again when I was a senior.
Right.
And I really didn't like it. And I think that was an eye-opener for me to realize that isn't what I wanted to do.
Right.
I thought I wanted to do it, and I'm so thankful I didn't go to 4 years of college to be a physical education teacher and find out then that I didn't want to do it. But yeah, those 2 years of just helping her in the gym and helping those kids, I didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful for that experience early on.
I'm glad, because can you imagine, and we see it though. We hear stories. We got, friends and friends' kids, and, go to school for a long time,
Yeah.
and then
they don't do what they went to school to be, or don't even, use their degree, so to speak.
That's right.
A friend that went to school for 8 years to do a specialty, and she's not even doing that.
Yeah.
It happens.
It happens all the time.
Sometimes it works out, but sometimes it doesn't.
Yep.
So I'm just thankful that I knew it wasn't going to work out. I can remember sitting those children down first thing, and they had to bring tennis shoes to school. Now they could wear, just say cowboy boots. They could wear cowboy boots to school, but they had to bring tennis shoes for their PE class, and they had to put them on for the class, and I had to take roll. And so I would call out every child's name and look and make sure that they had their correct shoes on. And if they did not, then I was to count off 5 points. And y'all, those little girls, they were trying to be my best friend by telling me, please don't count off for me not having my shoes on. And it was just a situation that I didn't want to find myself in again. That's not the reason I decided to not be a PE teacher.
I understand.
But that initially was kind of like some of these girls. Yeah. It was girls that I taught. It was not an all girls school.
Right.
But the girls and the boys were separated in PE. So while they're begging me to not take, 5 points off, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Because you think about how many it was quarterly at the time. So you think about 6 weeks. If for 6 weeks, for 5 days straight, they don't bring their shoes, they got a 75.
That's
off the bat.
Right off the bat.
And they could fail PE.
That's
and
crazy.
Fail the grade.
I don't remember being. I saw my buddy Mike Key on here. Mike, did we get graded for PE? I don't remember.
Well, these girls did, and I'd have to treat everybody fairly, because my friend that lived down the street, she didn't bring her shoes, but it wouldn't be fair for me to not count off 5 points for her when I counted off 5 points for this little girl I don't know.
Yeah,
and it wasn't very many kids.
That's right.
It was 5th and 6th grade.
Mike said we did get graded for PE. I don't know how we got graded, though. I don't remember. I guess if we just showed up, Mike, I don't remember.
Now, when I went to your school, which I did for 2 years, I had to put on a uniform.
Maybe that's what it was. Uniform. It's a wonder we all back then didn't have a staph infection.
Yeah, it is.
Because I don't ever remember taking my PE uniform off.
And even when I went to your school for those 2 years, I don't remember the boys having to. Well, PE was separate. There again, girls had their PE and boys had their PE.
And y'all, we had the worst PE uniforms, and Mike can attest to this.
Oh, they were shorty shorts.
We wore Daisy Dukes.
They were
the shortest shorts you could possibly wear, and they were made out of burlap sacks, I believe. They were horrible.
And I don't ever remember taking mine home to wash it either.
I don't remember taking mine home.
And those lockers were just nasty.
They were so nasty. Oh my gosh, it was horrible.
So if we didn't take them home, they obviously stayed in that nasty locker room.
And we had that old, y'all remember the old right guard? It was in the gold and black can, and that right guard smell. That's what it smelled between that and like gym socks in that PE room. It was horrible.
The girls wasn't much better. I can remember in the school that I changed to in the 8th grade, we had to change clothes and put on a PE uniform. And what killed me was the bathrooms in the locker room didn't have doors on them.
Yeah, that's right. That's crazy.
Who in the world wants to
Oh my
be
gracious.
visible to everybody when you're going to the
That's so
bathroom?
crazy. I know. I'm sure it's not like that now. Sure.
I don't
You
know.
think
I-
P's like that now?
I don't know. I don't think they have to change clothes because by the time I was a senior, we had quit the uniforms.
They didn't have the P uniforms
No,
anymore.
no.
Really?
I think our 8th and 9th grade was the only time that we changed clothes. And then we got a new PE teacher, and that PE teacher didn't require us to change clothes.
Huh. I remember ours.
I hated it though. I hated having to change clothes and,
Yep.
and get undressed and then dress back. It's kind of
Mhm.
ridiculous.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
I don't think they do that
Oh.
anywhere now. It'd probably be an invasion of your privacy to make everybody stand in front of each other and take their clothes off.
Who knows? I don't know. I
Or
have
either
no
somebody
idea.
would find it an invasion of their privacy if they didn't consider it so.
Who knows? Who knows?
Times have changed, and
It
it doesn't
has
feel like it's been
changed.
that long ago.
No.
I graduated in 1994,
Mm-hmm.
and Jason graduated in 1993.
Mm-hmm.
So if that won't give y'all any kind of concept as to what time frame we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Oh man.
Well, I got my buddy here,
I see old Dee Dee over there.
and
She
I
might
told
be
you,
sore.
she might be. I told y'all every Tuesday I'm going to show y'all. Oh, she doesn't want to. Oh, it's okay, baby. It's okay. I was going to show y'all what Dee Dee looked like. Dee Dee had to go to the vet today. It was a scheduled appointment.
She's done.
She is done. She's putting on her pouty face. But everything went well. I had them try to give me age again.
Yeah.
How old do you think Dee Dee is? And I showed them the picture, just like I showed you guys Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
of what she looked like the day that I found her. And I said, you see what she looked like the day I found her? And, you can obviously see her now.
Mm-hmm.
How old do you think she is? They beat around the bush. They didn't want to answer it. They didn't want to answer it. And finally, one of them said, I think she's about 12.
12.
So I have no scientific evidence to back that up. But it did make me feel like that may be an accurate answer.
I could see that.
I could see that too. But they proceeded to tell me when a dog hasn't been cared for like it should,
Mm-hmm.
it can look a lot older than what it actually is. But to me, her teeth are as good or better than Gidget's. Gidget's 4. How can a dog that's 12 years old's teeth look like hers? Unless somebody had them taken care of.
Yeah.
But she's missing all these top front ones. They're not there. And she has a hard time eating anything dry, any dry dog food. So I do moisten it for her. But I don't know. What do y'all think? How old do y'all think she is? I can't hold her back up because she's had some vaccines today and she's kind of sore, as y'all can see. But
I'm thinking 12. 12 seems like a pretty accurate answer.
so when I went in the vet's office, they proceed to tell me that there was a whole crew of breeding Pomeranians that was just dumped.
Did they
It
drop off at
said-
the animal shelter?
It said dumped at a rural shelter.
Wow.
And so they
How
told
many was it? 12?
it was 10.
10.
They told me that the rescue that took them. And so I went to their Facebook page and I looked at it, and there's some pictures of them. And the rescue that took them is not that far from here. And so I got Mary Carl to send them a Facebook message and ask them,
Mm-hmm.
where were the dogs found?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a pretty big crew. Dee Dee may have been part of it.
Yeah, we may have one part of it.
I don't know. I have no evidence to back that up. But
Yeah.
how ironic that these dogs were used for breeders and now they're surrendered. And
Yep.
she was found, in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
But she was obviously the only one, or else I'd have a house full of 11 other, 10 other, because it was 10 of them. But sad situation. They are needing help with their vet bills, and gosh, I should even share the information. I don't have any affiliation with these people. I have never heard of them until today. But it is called, and it's only on Facebook that I know of. Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah. I'll make sure that's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay. TWO, not number 2, TWO
That's 2.
BY
Mm-hmm.
2
Mhm.
TWO Animal Rescue. And their profile picture looks like this. And if you want to see these Pomeranians that I don't know have any affiliation with DD, but they may, go to their Facebook page. They've got
The Pomeranian's there.
and you can see them yapping. Look at them barking.
That's a Pomeranian.
That's a Pomeranian. And here's, gosh, 10 of them. Here's some pictures of the 10 that were, for whatever reason, dumped. Breeders.
Jackie says they have a website and she's familiar with that rescue.
Okay.
Good.
Well, if
Good.
any of y'all can spare $1 to help these, I mean, I know there's people that need help. There's animals that need help. But Pomeranians, near and dear to my heart, as all animals are. And I know that they could appreciate anything you have to give.
That's right.
Or maybe if you're interested in having one of the dogs, they ask that you fill out an application. I wasn't interested in having one of them, but I did see that. And anybody that's interested in having one could reach out to them, fill out an application.
That's right. Don't shake the table.
I'm not going to shake the table.
I just want to make sure.
I love
Where is it located? Did you say
it's Helena, Alabama.
Helena, Alabama.
Helena,
right.
Alabama.
Yep.
I couldn't handle but one Gidget. I'm not trying to give Pomeranians a bad name by all means, but Gidget is a little high strung.
Is she?
She's a little high strung. Jason told me today that he thinks that Dee Dee may be on the way a normal Pomeranian is. I don't know if I agree with that.
I was just kidding.
I
was just kidding. I was being funny.
Where people can't even rent apartments sometimes if they have a Pomeranian. That tells me right there, most of them bark.
Yeah.
Most of them bark. Most of them bark a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
I want to say they're up there with the Chihuahua.
Y'all should hear Jason when he's editing. He'll have headphones on.
And I can hear it through the headphones.
And Jason says, please stop barking.
Because I'm trying to concentrate. It'd be like taking the ACT exam and the dog's barking the whole time you're trying to take the exam.
So earlier, well, I get back to Dee Dee and taking her to the vet. Yep. So I told y'all her checkup went good. Well, Dee Dee has had some skin issues ever since I brought her home. And that first day that she was here, that night, it was a Friday night. Mary Carl wasn't here. She was infested with fleas. Right. And so I used a flea medication to get rid of those fleas. Well, I couldn't really tell much about her skin then, but as time's gone on, I can see the dander. And I think I've told y'all that because the vet gave me some omega-3 pills to squirt on her food. Well, her skin has not improved. It's very flaky. And I wouldn't worry about the way it looks, except for she itches all the time. And y'all, it's to the point where sometimes she cries. So I've been waiting on this appointment day because I knew that I needed the vet to do something else. You know, what we have going on here is not working. So the vet looked at it, and first they were thinking it may be a fungal infection or some kind of bacteria that needed some medication for. But the vet looked at it, and she said that she thought that Dee Dee would benefit from a medicated shampoo, a prescription shampoo. And so I got that, and I've already bathed her. I've used it. They want me to use it 2 to 3 times a week, which I didn't think you were supposed to bathe a dog.
I guess to get rid of whatever she's got.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, probably so.
So after Dee Dee, she's so good to bathe. I mean, it's no chore whatsoever. Gidget didn't either. So what I was getting at is Jason's up here editing, and I'm bathing Dee Dee. No problem, right? Well, I can't just bathe Dee Dee because Gidget's looking at me like, my turn, my turn, my turn. So I didn't use that shampoo on Gidget, but Gidget got her turn. So when Gidget got finished with her bath, Holly thought that she was a new dog, obviously, because she's barking at her and chasing her, and Gidget was wet. And Gidget was just as feisty as Holly was, thinking it was another dog. And that's when Jason just about had enough.
I was. Oh my gracious, it was terrible.
So I got 2 down, and I
Yeah.
left my stuff out because I'm doing Arlo next.
Okay. Then you
Arlo's
can do
next.
Holly.
Well, I'm not. These are sink dogs. These are not bathtub
I used
dogs.
to have a neighborhood friend whose mama they had a Pekingese and they had pugs. And these were his mama's babies. She loved them. They loved her. And I think they had 3. They had 2 Pekingese and a pug. And they always sat in the recliner with her and loved on her. They just were her babies. And she was so afraid that if she bathed them, that they wouldn't like her no more.
Mm.
So that was her son's chore. He had to bathe them because
that was her saying, maybe I should tell me girl that.
she was so scared that her babies wouldn't love her. And you know that's not true.
No, it's not true.
But in her mind, it was.
But
And,
I have left the worst for last because Arlo hates a bath.
Oh, yeah, he does hate a bath.
Gidget loves it.
He
She
hates a
sits
bath.
there like she's at a spa.
Yep.
Dee Dee's perfect.
Yep.
Dixie's okay. She's not bad. She's not good, but she
Mhm.
could do without it.
Yeah.
Now, as for the outside dogs, that's another story. That's a
Yeah.
whole nother story. But the shower in the garage has come in handy.
Oh, yeah, that's where we
That's
bathed
where I
Holly
bathed
at and
Dee
stuff.
Dee
Yeah.
when she was infested with the fleas.
Yep.
That's where I bathed Dee Dee.
Yep.
And I bathed her this time and Gidget in the kitchen sink because it's big enough and it was convenient and it was not warm in any way. So made it happen.
Made it happen. Well, they're so little, they can just fit in the sink.
That's
no
right.
problem. Yeah.
Arlo's going to be kind of iffy.
Yeah, he don't like it.
He does not like it.
He
And
don't like it.
like, say I didn't have all my goods together
Yeah.
when I went to bathe Gidget or Dee Dee. They're fine. They're just sitting there. Arlo would be gone.
Yeah.
He'd be gone.
He
You're
don't
not
like it.
going to leave him.
He does not like it.
But he don't like water either.
No, he's not a water dog. I got to tell him about what happened yesterday. So you had we had to go to you had your doctor's appointment.
Yes, I showed up.
Had your doctor's appointment. Okay. Well, me and Mary Carl always take the opportunity when you on a doctor's appointment or anytime we go to
Anything I have anything to do that's
in a
not
bigger
involving
city.
y'all.
Yeah, in a bigger city.
Yeah.
And we'll go to the movies.
Yeah.
Well, we actually went to a different movie theater this time than we normally go to. We usually go to the one in Alabaster, which we love. That movie theater has them fancy dancy seats, and you recline on back. It's got a button, and your feet go up in the air.
I've never
and
been
you
in
got-
there.
Oh, it is.
They
it
always
is
tell me about it.
unreal. I mean, I can't believe it. But hey, there's suits to boots on here.
Hey, Jamie.
But we come on back. Just I love that theater. And anyways, and if you go to the one, they got one that's in the center and they call it GX or something. And I can't tell no difference between it and the other ones. They claim it's got better sound and all
It's
that.
got heated seats, doesn't it?
But it's got heated seats. And sometimes, the movie theaters get kind of cool. And you're leaning back and you hit that button and your seats start heating up. And they got cup holder. And that one's got a tray that comes around.
The one in Alabaster?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It is unreal. It's not like the movie theaters we grew up in. So we went to a different one because this one's closer to your doctor.
Yeah, because I didn't want the movie was 2 hours long. I had to drop them off ahead of time.
Yeah.
And we'd have been pushing it to get back. I would have been pushing it to get
Yeah.
back to Alabaster.
So it was a different one. And but it was nice. It was in Hoover, and I forget the name. It was an AMC movie theater, and it was nice. And we went and saw Blue Beetle, and so we're in there, and they had these like like a combo, 1, 2, 3s or whatever. And a 1 was popcorn and drink, and like a 2 was a pretzel in a drink, and it was a large pretzel. And Mary Carl loves these large pretzels. And I said, Mary Carl, would you rather have a pretzel than a popcorn? And she said, Is it the big ones like me? I said, yeah, it's one of those like Annie's pretzels.
Well, when we went to Universal Studios back in May, that was the first time that she repeatedly had one.
Yeah, she loved them. And it's
it's just like one of the Annie's pretzels. They're Bavarian style pretzels.
Yeah. And I was thinking, okay, well, we'll get one of those. And he said, well, it was 2 guys working the counter, and he said, well, we don't have any. I was like, okay, it's no problem. He said, we got pretzel bites, some little pretzel bites. And I'm still thinking pretzel bites are like the little hard pretzels, like in a bag that you'd buy from the grocery store. I'm not thinking, something else. So I said, well, don't worry about that. We'll just get 2 number 1 combos. And so they got one of those drink machines that has all the drinks in it, and you touch and you.
Yeah, she told me it was like Zaxby's.
It took me it seemed like 35 minutes to figure out how to make this drink.
She didn't show you?
No, she had gone to the restroom.
Oh, she knew how to do it.
So I kept pushing and nothing would come on.
Jason.
And I'm pushing and touching and nothing would come on. And I actually I was like, this is what it feels like, when our parents couldn't work the VCR.
Like my mama telling me she can't go to a doctor's office that has a kiosk because she can't operate it.
And so, y'all, I'm sitting there and I never could. And I'm like, I don't know what to do here. So finally, I just pushed it because it's ice first. It's ice. When I pushed it for the ice, bloop, everything pops up.
That's right. I was thinking when we were at Universal, that's how they were, but we never got drinks. We only got ice.
So then you can pick your drink or what you want. So while all this is going on, the guy comes back and says, hey, we actually do have some pretzels ready. And I said, well, give me 1 pretzel. He's like, okay, no problem. I didn't ask the price of the pretzel.
I didn't ask you the price of the pretzel either, and I should have. Y'all will see why in a minute.
So I didn't ask the price of the pretzel. We're in the movie theater. This is mine and Mary Carl's treat. This is daddy-daughter date night. It wasn't nighttime.
It was day.
But so this is what I'm thinking. It doesn't matter. It's gonna be. I mean, what's $8 for a pretzel? Or $6 for this pretzel. So I seen get this pretzel and put it in a box, y'all. And this pretzel's this big.
He's not exaggerating.
And my eyes got big. And y'all know what the first thing I thought? It's funny now. I was thinking, well, maybe that's what size they are. And when they cook them, it shrinks to like a normal Annie pretzel.
Jason.
I thought, there's no way that's the pretzel. There's no way. It's got to shrink down. It's got to shrink down. I tell you. And y'all, I sat there and watched that pretzel cooking out oven the whole time, thinking when he pulls it out, it's going to be half the size of it is when he put it in there.
It was a large size pizza box, and that's not exaggerating.
It didn't shrink. It didn't shrink at all. And I'm like, oh my gracious, Mary Carl's going to freak out when she sees this pretzel because it is huge. Literally, y'all, it was as big as a large pizza.
It was.
So he put it in a large pizza box, right? Has it in there, and he goes, do you want cheese or you want mustard? I was like, well, give me both because this this pretzel's big. We're going to have a lot of something. So Mary Carl comes around.
And y'all got the 2 popcorns too?
Already had 2 popcorns.
Oh, okay.
So Mary Carl comes.
That's why she didn't eat much of it.
No.
Okay.
I'm thinking, it's going to be $6 for this. It was $18. Oh, I couldn't tell him no. I done told him to cook the darn thing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, tell me about it. So I got an $18 pretzel. That's the size of
Texas. Go on and say it. It's the size of Texas.
Y'all, it was huge. So now I'm trying to think, how in the world me and Mary Carl gonna get in the theater now? We got 2 large popcorns, we got 2 large drinks, and we got a pretzel that's the box. The box, literally, y'all, is like this. I'm thinking, what in the world? So what I did was I put the box and I put everything on top because it would all fit there. The popcorns and the drinks would all fit on top of the box because it's that big.
I've never seen a pretzel that big in my life. And I bet y'all wonder how in the world I saw the pretzel when I wasn't there, right?
Yeah.
So I go to my doctor's appointment and I go to pick them up at 4:30 when the movie's over, and they're coming bebopping out with what looks like a pizza. And I'm thinking the whole time, we were planning on going to eat somewhere when we got finished at the movies. I had not had lunch. I ate oatmeal late, so I wasn't hungry. But by this point, it's 4:30 and I'm about to starve.
Yeah.
I passed by every good restaurant on the planet, and here they are curbside waiting to get in the car with this giant pizza box. I said, well, I'm glad y'all brought me something to eat because I'm about to starve. I opened the box up, literally one bite taken out of this pretzel because she ate all the popcorn.
Oh yeah, we were both eating the popcorn and the pretzel. It was as big as my arm. That is no lie. The rings. I mean, it was like this.
So it's a good thing I like pretzels because I say to Mary Carl in the back, "You still want to go eat?" She says, "Not really." I'm like, so I made the mistake of trying it with the hot mustard first. Well, then I had heartburn because the mustard was so hot.
I liked it with the cheese.
I'm thinking to myself, I like the cheese too. I just wanted to try the mustard.
I will say this. It was good.
It was good.
It was really good. And we did. It may not look like we ate a lot, but I felt like we ate a lot of that pretzel. So, but it wasn't much missing out of it. You're right.
I'm glad y'all brought it home because I continued to eat on it all evening to the point where I just about made myself sick on it. I ate so much of that pretzel.
It did taste like an Annie's pretzel.
It was good. It was good. It was one of the best I've ever had.
It really was. But it could have fed 5 people.
Maybe 6.
It was. Y'all, I'm telling you. And I said AMC. I think that's a pretty popular movie theater. Don't make the mistake I made.
Ask the price first.
Don't assume it's just a regular old, pretzel
it was like huge. This. I got the box still down there on the counter. The pretzel's gone, but it's really, really big.
Whew.
But it was good.
It was good. And we had a great time. Me and Mirko had a great time.
I didn't even think to ask how much it cost because when I saw it, I knew that was.
And they didn't have the recline. That movie theater, the seats don't. It's not like you press a button and you recline all the way back, and it's normal. The fancy theater, those seats feel like leather. And I know it's probably not. It's probably like pleather. It's like fake leather. This one had your normal movie theater seats. The material that they have in movie theaters.
Uh-huh.
But y'all, the back spring loaded. So when you lean back, you feel like you're going to fall when it stops. It's kind of like a rocking chair. It does like this.
Well, so did y'all like the movie?
Yeah, we liked the movie.
Well, some people are asking, what did you see?
Oh, Blue Beetle. We watched Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle. And I don't know anything about that, but it's some kind of superhero movie. Mm-hmm. So
we had a choice between Blue Beetle and the Haunted Mansion, which is the Disney movie about the Disney Haunted Mansion ride, sort of themed off it. And she chose Blue Beetle.
Well, the timing worked out too.
Yeah.
Because my appointment was at 3:00 and the movie started at 2:20. So it gave me enough time. What did I do? Oh, I ran in a store and got some signs for new coffee area that's going to be next door over here. Not really next door, but slid on over a little bit. Mm-hmm. And by that time, it was time for me to go to my appointment. Mary Carl asked me, Mama, where all did you go? I said 2 places. To a store called At Home and to Home Depot to get some screws. Mm. And that was all I accomplished in 2.5 hours. And the doctor. But my doctor visit went well. So I had to go for some blood work a week before. I told you guys that. Since I am about an hour from my doctor's office, they have me come in about a week before and they draw blood. And that way they can have my labs ready when I see the doctor and I'm not making 2 separate trips. So, there it is. Y'all look. That's the pretzel. That's the pretzel.
I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead. Finish
you
your
should have
story.
showed that.
I just thought about it.
So about I don't even think I've shared this, but it was a year ago. My blood pressure has been fine ever since I was on blood pressure medicine at one time before I became pregnant with Mary Carl. But when I became pregnant with Mary Carl, I got off the blood pressure medicine. It really wasn't for my blood pressure. I had mitral valve prolapse. So I took what you call a beta blocker to control heart palpitations. So my doctor got me off the blood pressure medicine when I became pregnant with Mary Carl, and I've been without it ever since. My blood pressure's been good. Well, 1 year ago, I started feeling really funny. I was having a whole lot of anxiety, and one description of what was going on is when I bent down to pick something up, I felt all the blood rush to my head. And I just knew that wasn't my normal day-to-day life. And so I had on a whim to check my blood pressure. Of course, when I checked it, it was high. It was about 175 over 100, and running a little bit higher than that at some times. So I checked it periodically for about 3 days, and I reached out to my doctor, and he said, come on in and let's do some labs. And I did. And so when I had the labs done, he put me on blood pressure medicine, and I didn't want to take it. I did not want to take it, but I also didn't want to die. And I couldn't go on feeling the way I was feeling because I was unable to function and didn't know what was going on. So I don't know what happened, but something happened in my body to make my blood pressure elevate, and we got it under control because yesterday I had a good checkup.
Yes.
And also my cholesterol was very high 1 year ago when I had this blood work done. I had tried the natural ways of removing my cholesterol. And as you guys know, we do not hardly eat any fried food. If we do, it's okra fritters, and that's twice a year. But controlling my diet was out of the question. Exercise, out of the question. I do both of those. And so without the natural things lowering my cholesterol, such as red rice yeast, I tried that. Different things. The doctor told me that genetics play a great factor in your cholesterol, which I didn't really even know that. So my dad had high cholesterol, and he took medicine. He passed away at 49, and as long as I can remember, he was on cholesterol medicine. Mm-hmm. So a year ago, I got on the cholesterol medicine as well, and I am happy to say my cholesterol has dropped 100 points.
That's
and
awesome.
I feel fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So good report for me, and the doctor was patting himself on the back for a job well done because, that's quite an improvement.
Yep.
And I'm not an advocate for going out and popping pills or taking medicine that's not needed. But in this case, y'all, I couldn't do anything else. I may not be here today if I had continued the way I was with my blood pressure being like that. So this is my word to you. If you haven't gotten an annual checkup or blood work done lately, you might want to call and make you an appointment because it can save your life.
That's right.
Blood pressure is a silent killer. High cholesterol is not good for you either. So a lot more things in life to worry about than if you can get those things under control.
That's right. 100 points is a lot.
100 points is a lot.
That's
100 points is a lot. So
that is a lot.
Yeah, I'm encouraging each and every one of you. There's so much that our technology can do with medicine today as to finding out things that are wrong with you can prevent. Can prevent from escalating.
That reminds me of, a lot of y'all probably know, if you don't, I was born with one kidney. And used to, I would have to, every other year?
Every year.
I would have to
function. I'd
have to carry around a cooler with me. And my doctor always wanted to check my kidney performance. And I basically had to pee in a bottle all day for 24 hours and keep it in this cooler all day. And then next day, go to the doctor's office and turn that in. I don't do that no more.
Nope.
They can do all that from my blood now, which is crazy. That ain't that long ago when I was doing that to what it is now. So that's crazy. So
there's so many things that just a little blood draw can tell
Yeah, isn't that weird?
that maybe potentially alarming and it shouldn't be,
Mm-hmm.
but at least you could get it checked out and make sure there's no underlying reasons for
Yeah, that's right.
what's happening.
That's right.
Last year when I went, I had a potassium was a little bit elevated.
Yeah, your potassium was crazy.
And we didn't really know why, but he didn't want to do anything about it. He wanted to check it again because it wasn't like it wasn't like my cholesterol high. It was just a little bit. And so I tried to crazy thing is things like spinach contain a lot of potassium. Broccoli contains a lot of potassium. Foods that are good for you. And I didn't want to have to stop those foods.
Yeah.
And I wasn't told to stop those foods. So I've carried on, although I did become more educated on what does contain potassium.
Right.
But this time, my blood work was completely normal, and there's no further steps that need to be taken to see, what may have caused that little bit of elevation.
Wow.
So
I just read that somebody named Arlene, they have 3 kidneys.
3 kidneys. Cool.
3
wow.
kidneys. What's crazy about my 1 kidney is that it's larger than a normal kidney.
Probably to compensate for that one that's missing.
Yep.
And that may be a good thing.
Yep.
That it's larger. A lot of us may have 1 kidney and not even know it. So happened that you were checked because of your left eye.
I think now that they can see that, maybe through ultrasounds and all that with the babies now, but back then, you didn't have all that.
That's true.
Back then you didn't have all that. So Yep. Born with 1 kidney. I was born, my whole left side wasn't developed. So I was missing eye muscles on my left side. I was born without a left kidney, and I had hip issues on my left side as a kid too. And it always seemed like if I ever had an accident, it was always on my left side.
Well, you probably as well as I do that your peripheral vision on this left side is just very minimal.
Yeah.
So that would contribute to any of us having, issues if we didn't have the normal vision.
I guess so. I guess you're right.
I don't know, but I'm glad to know that a little bit of blood pressure medicine and some cholesterol medicine helped me get on the mend, and I'm feeling 100%. We know someone who's fairly young and very active, like works really hard, that recently found out, he knew he had high blood pressure, but he went to the steps of getting on some medication. And y'all, I call him a kid. He's almost 30, but this guy feels better than he's ever felt in his entire life.
That's crazy. Yeah, he's very active and very thin.
Very fit.
So
yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
I was floored to find out that he had high blood pressure.
Yep.
But it doesn't matter how fit or how. It has a lot to do with your genetics as much as it does everything else.
Yep.
And I got the bad end of that deal, unfortunately.
Hopefully, I got good genetics.
Hopefully so. I got the speech about having a colonostomy because I'm approaching 50, and I guess they have to discuss that. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
That's right.
One step at a time, buddy. Right?
That's right. Whew, man, it is hot.
It is hot. It is very hot. I didn't write down any of our videos, but let's see.
It's okay. We're good. We're at 53 minutes already.
53 minutes.
Yeah.
I didn't
we
say
can show everybody the beautiful
pretzel again
that we had.
I didn't tell y'all that Biscuit went to the vet too. Biscuit is the 3rd kitty, and she's a female. She's Bramble and Sylvester's not sibling, but she's their live-in mate.
That's right.
And the vet wants me to weigh Bramble because they anticipate that he's about 16 weeks old. So weigh Bramble. If he's 5 pounds, I set him up for neuter. If he's not 5 pounds, then I continue to weigh him. And when he's 5 pounds, he'll be neutered. But they're not going to do anything with Biscuit right now. But she has had all her vaccines, so she doesn't have to go back.
Good.
And she's a bit smaller than the other 2.
She is.
Was kind of a concern to me. So I talked to the vet about it, and they were like, You don't feel her ribs. You don't do this. And, she's perfectly healthy. But I think just seeing her in comparison to those boys, which she's a lot younger too,
Yeah.
Just had me worried that something may be wrong. But she's perfectly healthy and all is good. So back to the barn for Biscuit and Sylvester and Bramble and y'all. They are living the life.
They are loving that barn.
They have access to the whole barn.
Yep.
And it never fails. Every time I go in there, somebody's on the top rope.
Mm-hmm.
And I call the top rope where Roberto and Heidel built the stalls. They put a 2x6 around the top for stabilization.
Yep.
And those little kitties just love it. They think that barn is the greatest playground ever. So I got a little bit of time to work on my playground because right now they're very occupied.
They are doing they're doing awesome. And even today I went and put some stuff in there and my hands were full and I opened up the door and I came in there and I was like, oh, do I need to set this stuff down and shut the door?
They don't try to.
They don't even try to run out. They don't try to run out. I was like, I'm not
out.
worried about it. They're fine. And so they wouldn't. They didn't even try to run out.
But I told Mary Carl on the way, I said, while, Bramble and Sylvester will be neutered.
Yeah.
I'm not opening those doors for them to have access to the big wide world until all three are spayed and neutered.
Yeah.
Meaning Biscuit. Because
right.
I wouldn't want her to go in heat and a male cat to smell her and come over and potentially fight. And you don't know what could happen.
And there's no telling. And those cats, they can smell from miles, it seems like.
So the doors will stay closed on the barn until they are all three fixed.
Yeah.
We don't want any unneeded, wanted kitties.
And definitely don't want another male to come over here and jump on Sylvester and Bramble either. So
we see more cats in our area than we do dogs.
Yeah, you rarely see a dog.
I guess it's because everybody has barns.
Yeah.
And there's barn cats.
Right.
So as for them being neutered or spayed, I don't know.
Right.
There's none right here with us, but I see them from time to time,
mm-hmm.
Just wandering around people's barns. But I don't want to take that chance.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't either.
So everybody's happy in the barn.
I bet it feels like it's 15 degrees cooler in that barn.
It does. I mean, you can go in the barn to cool off.
Yeah, you can. That's not even in the air conditioned part.
No.
Yeah.
You would think it would be like an oven in there.
Right.
But y'all, while Dee Dee didn't want to stay in the barn like full time, she didn't want to be there by herself. She wanted to be with people. She loves it when I go to the barn.
Oh, man.
That's like her favorite thing in her whole day is going to the barn.
Yep.
She loves to ride on the side-by-side, and she stands at that door and doesn't do anything. I've got the chicks in there in the brooder. The cats don't bother them. Dee Dee goes in. Dee Dee doesn't bother the cats. The cats don't bother her. Everybody just gets along.
Yeah, they do get along.
It's just one big happy family.
Dee Dee will go. It's like her nose is on the ground, and she just starts going around that perimeter of that barn. And she hits another gear.
She does. She goes into a drive that you don't know. You wouldn't think this little old lady would have.
No.
And I get tickled at her because it's just like it's her delight to be at that barn.
She's walking around the house or outside
with her little
and
very slow moving bow-legged.
You open the door to tell her to come in, and she just takes her time to coming on inside. Flies are coming in, letting the hot, cold air out.
Gidget's
barking. And Dee Dee seems like 20 minutes to come on inside the door. But put her in that barn, and it's like a switch flips. I mean, she is just moving quick and fast.
I don't know if she's a rat dog,
I don't know
a snake dog. I don't know what she smells or what she thinks she's doing, but it's a whole nother gear. It's a Dee Dee gear.
It is funny. We'll have to record her when she's in that barn.
We the last time we worked outside, Dee Dee wanted to go with us, and I didn't want her to because it was so hot. But she stays in the barn.
Yeah.
And she's just content as she can be until she can hear me talking. If she hears me talking, she'll
start barking.
But
Yep.
for the most part, she loves that barn. But
She
don't leave her
loves
there
that
all
barn.
night. She was not having that. When I first found her,
Yeah.
my initial thoughts were I was going to rehome her.
Yeah.
And definitely had no intentions of her ever coming to our house.
Yeah.
That was a no. It was not going to happen.
You can blame me for that.
So after about 4 days or so of her being at the barn, seeing that she didn't like it, she came to the house.
Yep.
Pink and Tucker are absolutely fine.
Mm-hmm.
Pink lives at the old barn by choice. She does not come up here unless she's eating, which she comes up here at night to eat. And Tucker's best friends are the boys.
I tell you that reminded me was Tucker was a funny thing is that I don't know if a lot of you guys saw it or not, but I made a little short video and I had the A-Team music with it. I don't know if you guys saw it or not. If you didn't, go find it. It's on YouTube and Facebook. But I put the A-Team music to it, and it is Holly leading the way, and I pan it over, and then it was Rocky, and then it was Tucker, and then it was Bandit and Dee Dee, all of them, and they're all walking, and Tucker, and there's Tucker in them. I think Tucker sometimes thinks she's a dog. I really do think Tucker thinks she's a dog sometimes.
Yeah, well, Tucker likes to ride on the side-by-side as much as Dee Dee, but since it's been hot, Tucker hadn't done her drives like she normally does.
She's kind of stayed in the shade a little bit. And most of all of our dogs have.
Yeah,
our animals.
True.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Have the kittens met Pink and Tucker? Tucker met the kitties back when they lived up at the house. Me, Carl, and I would take them outside and let them be on the trampoline for a little while because it's enclosed, and let them walk around. And Tucker would come over there and visit with them, but she really could care less.
Yeah.
She just
she thinks she's a dog.
She just doesn't care. And
I'll see her out there laying with Bandit and Rocky like she's a livestock guardian dog out there.
It is so funny because they're not going to do anything to her. But if they come close to her and they're going too fast, she'll hold that hand up and they stop. And it's like she's telling me to stop, but they put on the brake. She just, I'm telling you, you better stop.
But slow down. Slow down. Bandit gets excited and sometimes thinks he's going to play with her like a dog. And she said, not today, sir.
But she plays back. She will
play back sometimes. She will. She's a mess.
It's kind of funny seeing the different. But I guarantee you, when the weather cools off, you're probably gonna see Dee Dee and Tucker riding side by side on the
probably so.
Side by side on the side by side.
Oh, that's right.
So
me.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. So I've got a video coming out tomorrow from Jason. Y'all check it out, and then Thursday will be my video. And Friday again from you.
That's right.
Saturday morning will be live. And then repeat.
And I will say tomorrow's video, we have got a big surprise.
A big surprise. It's not a new animal.
Not a new animal.
Just tell y'all that off the bat.
It is
you may
6
need
foot
to know
tall
that.
surprise.
It's a 6 foot tall surprise.
Y'all stay tuned.
So stay tuned, and hope y'all enjoyed the live, and we will see y'all on the next one.
Y'all be good.